Yeah, and here comes the part that literally nobody's talking about online. What should I do after my first campaign? Should I go with an ABO? Should I go with a CBO? What ad should I kill? Okay, what should I do if I'm profitable? What will happen if I'm not profitable? Okay, what ads will I double down on? How will I allocate my budget? Like, so many questions that I had when I first started out with running meta ads, and I've solved all of them by spending enough money. And yeah, here's exactly what you should do, okay? Yeah, guys, today I will share all the lessons from generating over $500,000 on Meta. I will show you exactly how to go from 0 to 100K a month. I will show you how to find your winning messaging, what even a winning ad messaging is, okay? I will show you how to scale your campaigns, what ads to kill, when a CBO is the right move, when an ABO is the right move. And I will show you exactly why a lot of people saying, oh yeah, just put all your ads in one campaign, 25 ads to one CBO. Why this isn't always the right approach. I've actually learned everything about Meta myself. I've listened to a lot of advice online, but I just tested and looked what worked for me and for my clients, okay? In this video, I will share everything with you. So first of all, you need to understand that the first thing that you want to do when you starting out on Meta, okay, you want to find your winning messaging. You winning ads are what actually drives your account, okay? You winning ads can drive up to 80% of your entire revenue. We've had one winning ads from one client, okay? I can still remember when I've written this ad. I would have never expected that it would drive us so much money. Okay, this single one ad that I've written 3 or 4 months ago has generated us literally 110K per month for this client over here. I think around 80% of the money that actually came in, we can see this because we're UTM tracking, and I will show you right now exactly how to actually track all the stuff in a dashboard in a second. This ad alone has driven us up to 110K a month, and that's why it's so important to find your winning ad. And every single account has this winning messaging, right? Winners don't only have a cheap cost per result. A lot of clients will obsess about cost per lead, cost per schedule, but this is completely the wrong metric to optimize for. Sure, it matters. Sure, it shows you some stuff about the front end, about the landing page conversion rate. But what actually matters, you can be profitable with a $200 cost per schedule, with a $400 cost per schedule, even with a $1,000 cost per schedule. You want to have the cheapest customer acquisition cost, okay? Rule of thumb for winners. Rule of thumb for scaling any kind of campaign on Meta is that your customer value, okay, your value per customer that you're acquiring should be 3 times higher than your customer acquisition cost. If this is the case for your winner, that means you're running on a 3x ROAS generally, okay? And that means that you want to scale your campaign. That means that you've probably found the winner and you want to scale this campaign and allocate some spend towards winners, towards testing. I will show you exactly how to do that in just a second. So with that being said, guys, how do I get my customer acquisition cost? Your customer acquisition cost is actually quite easy to calculate. It's your spend divided by your customers, okay? So let's say you're spending $10,000 on Meta, you're getting 10 customers for that, then your customer acquisition cost will be what? It will be 1K, okay? And let's say my customer value is 5K for most of the people in the info space. This will probably be your customer value. Then you're running on a 5x return on ad spend. That's very profitable. That's exactly what you want. And it probably means you have a winner in your campaign. Now, one big thing that I want to handle right up front is I see so many people right now talking about copying winning ads in the ads library. Just go there, copy it, put it in Claude, let it remix it, hand it to your client, and you will have a bunch of winners. No, guys, what do you think? Why so many people are still struggling on Meta if everyone could just do this method? Simply because it won't work for you. I've literally tried it. It didn't work for us. I've tried it on various client accounts, and there's a simple reason why it won't work for you. It's your competitors have a completely different offer, a different look, a different pixel. Pixels are crucial here for attracting the right customers, and the different unique selling position, okay? I've generated you this image here real quick to show you what I mean. So let's say we've got a winner, a competitor in the market who's in the market for already 3 years or so, who spent $1 million on Meta, okay? And he will have all the customers. All the customer base will be there, and his pixel will be trained with his leads. And let's say you're starting after him, okay? And you're just copying his exact concept. You're just putting another color on it. You won't have any customers because you are not him. You don't have the exact product. You don't look like him, as you can see over here, okay? And your ads won't have the exact same energy. Even if you copy the exact copy that he uses in his ads, this won't be the right move for you. okay? And it's simple. Why don't we have thousands of Nike brands online if everyone could just go and copy Nike? Because they don't have the product, they don't have the brand, okay? And that's exactly what you should do. You should figure out your own unique selling position, what makes you unique. If this guy would have had a unique product or a unique logo or a unique design, maybe he would be able to stand out in the market, but definitely not by copying your competitors 100%. Okay, I just want to make this very sure. So how do I find my winning messaging? By finding your ideal customer and their specific pain points, conditions, circumstances, and desires. And guys, this is so crucial. This is the most important thing that you need to understand about scaling to 100K with Meta. So think about this girl here, this lady here, okay? She has pain points. Maybe it's working at her 9 to 5. She has desires. She has, maybe she wants to travel. Maybe she wants to have financial freedom, okay? These are her desires. These are her pain points. What are her circumstances? How does her day-to-day look like? What does she complain about when she's with her friends, okay? You want to get into their heads. Now, the truth is, there won't be one persona. Like everybody's saying online, yo, find your ICP, my CP. I see this word so overused, okay? the thing is, there will be a mix of a bunch of different demographics, okay? So generally, you're gonna have 2 to 4 main ICP categories. And you're not guessing here, you're simply analyzing all your call recordings that you already have, because probably when you want to run ads, you probably already have some deals from Organic or from Cold Outreach, or whatsoever, and you want to take all the calls, all the customer data that you have, some reviews, all the testimonials that you have, all the type firm data, like literally all the data that you have about your clients. That's why we, by the way, always do onboarding forms, and we want to get as much information as possible from our clients. You want to put it into Claude. You want to insert this prompt. You're an expert customer psychology analyst. Your job is to analyze all of my winning customers, pain points, desires, buying triggers, and so on and so on. And it will give you a full analysis, okay? And then you want to look, you will probably have around 2 to 4 different ICP categories. Maybe, let's say, I'm selling an Amazon coaching offer, an Amazon service where I'm teaching sellers how they can scale their Amazon business. I'm gonna have people who haven't started yet, who are just looking to build a second income on Amazon. I have people who tried another Amazon business model like drop shipping, it didn't work. I've got people who got burned by other e-commerce courses, or I got people who are already started with Amazon FBA and who are struggling, for example, to get suppliers, who are struggling to optimize their margins, who are struggling to get brand direct deals, okay? And each of these ICPs has different pain points, desires, outcomes, and categories. What are categories? Categories is stuff like, is it either a time pain point, I want more time? Is it a status pain point? Is it a financial pain point, okay? These are the categories. You want to analyze all your data, look for your ideal customers, and one thing that I can literally give you right now, don't rely on AI only. Like, this prompt is good, it gives you a good direction, but I never only rely on AI. I really want to do my own thinking, and this is the highest leverage, this is the highest ROI task that you have. It's the highest ROI because it's going to determine everything that comes after it. All your campaigns, all your ad copy, your entire marketing directive that you might be going with for months will be determined by this ICP research, because your ICP is in the foreground of this all, okay? So really invest your time. I want you to invest days. I want you to write all your ICP data down, then go for a walk, go for the gym, look at it, see what kind of bullshit you've written down, and redo it, okay? And then redo it the next day, redo it another day. Do it for 7 days. You can always be tweaking here, and it's very important to consistently make adjustments. And then you want to make your first testing campaign structure, okay? This is your exact testing campaign. You don't have your winning ad messaging yet. You don't know which of these personas will actually convert via ads, because keep in mind, ads are a different game than organic, okay? So what you want to do is you want to do a CBO, okay, a campaign budget optimization, where you completely lean into the meta algorithm, right? You want to have one ad set, and you want to go broad. You don't want to do interest stacks. You don't want to do retargeting. I've tried all of it. Every single time the cost is cheaper when we go broad, and we're getting better leads. And you want to craft 25 ads with different formats, because why do we want to have a bunch of different ads? with different formats, because Meta rewards different creative formats with lower CPMs. CPMs is how much you pay to get in front of 1,000 people. Keep in mind, Meta hates, the algorithm hates creative similarity. So if your creatives look too similar, let's say if I'm recording all my ads in front of this background here, Meta's gonna punish me, okay? That's why you want to have 25 different formats. I need a green screen. It's working pretty well for our studio as well. Highly edited ads still work if you put them in one ad set and mix them in for creative diversity. Yapping ads, where I just pull up my iPhone, okay, and I'm just going to record the ad. I'm going to put some text overlay in it, so some captions. You want to edit it natively in Instagram edits. Whiteboard ads, notepad ads, Miro ads, screen share ads, Loom ads, a bunch of different formats, okay, just testing what works, which format works for you guys. But even more important than the format is your actual messaging that you want to test. So out of this 25 ads, what you want to do generally when you have your ICPs, and there are two different ways of doing it. I'm not saying one of these ways is the right way to do it, okay? These are two different ways. So way number one is you do a CBO, you put all your different personas in this CBO, okay? Now, this isn't the best move if your personas are very, 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 very different. Let's say I just was on a consulting call with someone and he told me, yo, I want to target parents for his financial internships, like or an offer where we teach people how to get financial internships, and I wanted to target parents and I want to target students. Like, I would never put these in the same campaign because it's a completely different customer. But let's say my customers are people who have tried dropshipping is one ICP. Another ICP is people who've tried private label in Amazon. And another ICP is people who've tried Amazon FBA. Okay, so people who are already a bit more aware, I would probably put them in one campaign because they're similar enough. What you want to avoid is really putting completely different people in one campaign, because your algo is going to get confused, the algorithm, and it will keep jumping around with any clear direction. Okay, and then you want to put, so approach number one, put all of them in one campaign and then craft different ads with different formats and different messaging. So one ad will dig into the pain point, financial pain, problem hook. So for example, I'm going to target people who tried, let's say, drop shipping, and my pain point will be financial one. Something like, okay, so let me guess, you've tried drop shipping, you've probably lost 5 to 10 grand. Your margins were horrible, and you're asking yourself if Amazon actually still works, or if all this online money stuff is just complete bullshit. Okay, well, look, here's exactly what happened to me. Salmon, I've tried dropshipping, I've lost a lot of money on it, and I figured out that the problem wasn't me or my approach of doing things, it was the entire model. The model is outdated, it doesn't work anymore. Okay, this could be one ad. Another ad could be ICP number one. Let's say we still go with the dropshipping ICP. It can be circumstance, market shift. Okay, so instead of going with a pain point, I will go with a market shift and say something like, dropshipping is dead since 2017, and the reason for that is that the market has completely shifted. Okay, China has huge tariffs and so on, and I want to go with this urgency ad. If you're not moving right now, you will be in a very, very bad spot, because right now you're gonna have a 6-month window where you can still transition your Amazon models until your margins are gonna die. This could be one ad. Okay, then ICP number two, for example, this will be a person who got burned by e-commerce courses. So my ad could start with a desire. The desire would be, I want one course, one coach that actually cares for me and functional. Okay, it just works for my business. So we can start the hook with something like, imagine you would have an Amazon coach who actually cared about you and who actually taught you valuable stuff. Well, this might sound like a utopia for you. This might sound like an absolute illusion, but let me tell you that this is exactly what my students are experiencing in my program. One ad, okay? I'm just freestyling them out of my head because I'm writing ads all day long. And this is what you want to go with. Different ICPs, different angles. You can even go with a call-out hook, so something like, if you tried Amazon FBA and it didn't work for you because you couldn't connect with suppliers, listen up, this video is for you, okay? Different ads. Now, important, again, if your ICPs are too different, it's worth creating different ad sets for these personas. In this campaign, we had all of our ads in one campaign, okay? Here, we could create one ad set per persona. Okay, so this could be ad set persona 1, and then I'm gonna have all my different ads for this persona in this ad set. And this could be ad set for persona number 2, and this could be ad set for persona number 4. There isn't one way that will work for you. Okay, you really need to look, like, if you want ads to, if you want a lot of different ads, if you want to test a lot of stuff and want different ads to get spent, you should probably go with an ABO and with different personas, because this means that all of your ads are going to get spent, but you probably will have inflated costs at the front end because you're spending a lot on different campaigns, and it would have been cheaper if you put all of them in one CBO. So you really want to tester. I generally, for clients, like to go with the CBO, and I like to select my ICPs upfront because I've got a pretty clear image of, a pretty clear vision of what kind of person will convert. Okay, now you want to spend at least $250 per day on these ad sets. If you're doing on these, probably 200 a day is still fine, but not less, because you need enough conversions and data to come back to actually have enough data to optimize for. Now, then you want to let the campaign run for around 5 to 7 days. Why do I say 5 to 7 days? Because when you let your campaign run, think about it. Someone clicks on your ad, they're going to go to your VSL funnel. They will book in a call 3 days out. Then they will show up to the call. Maybe they will have a follow-up call. So the data will come in after 5 to 7 days if this ad actually led to some revenue, okay? Then you will get some data back. And I've got something like a lovable dashboard, now Cloud Code dashboard, actually. I've created a full video about this on my channel, where I can see exactly how my ads are performing. So this is not the Meta Ads Manager view. It's so cool, guys. But this is essentially in my dashboard, in my Cloud Code dashboard. And I can see exactly, okay, how much money did we spend on this campaign? How much calls did we book? How much qualified calls? How much cash did we generate? How high is our ROAS? I also have contract ROAS, but it's not just in this view. And then I can see, okay, this is ad set number 1, ad set 2, ad set 3, ad set 4. And then I see, okay, ad set 1 is getting the highest ROAS, so I want to force, ideally, more spend towards it, okay? This is just scaling decisions here. Now, again, here's the part that nobody's talking about. What should I do after my first campaign? So in most of the cases, you probably won't be profitable in your first campaign because your pixel has no data yet. You don't know what works for you. Maybe you're new to running ads. So you want to, first of all, identify funnel bottlenecks, because keep in mind, when you're not profitable, this can be throughout your entire funnel. It can be your application form. It can be your show-up system. It can be your closers. It can be your ads manager. It can be everything together. And you need to track data to see what's happening. So I'm tracking my cost per landing page views. Cost per landing page views tells me how good is my ad creative, how good is my landing page load speed, and how likely are people actually to click on my landing page. If it's stable, if it's around $1.09, it really depends on the market that you're in. I can't tell you 80 cent cost per landing page view is good. You really need to figure it out and see how it develops. But let's say if your cost per landing page view suddenly spikes up and it's over here, this will give you a signal that your ads got worse, your ads are fatiguing, or your landing page has a technical error and isn't loading. Then you want to look at your cost per applications if you're running a VSL funnel. So how expensive is it to get 1 completed registrations? As you can see, cost per completed application, cost per completed, cost per started. You see our cost per completed is over here generally, okay? And then you want to map this and see how it performs. Maybe your application is too long. Maybe the application is below and people don't see it because it's not above the fold, right? You want to map your booked calls, every single metric, and then you want to ideally fix these bottlenecks. But if the problem still persists, and mostly it will also be an ad problem, you want to kill ads that didn't lead to a positive ROAS. So ads that got at least, let's say, $200, $300, $400 spent, really depends on what funnel you're optimizing for. For webinars, if you want to go with leads, complete registration, I would kill it after $200 spent. And if I see like cost per lead is at $50, I would kill it. For VSLs, you can have it run a bit longer. It really depends on how much money you want to spend. And then you want to double down on ads with positive trends and split tests ads with a completely new messaging. So there are sometimes ads that aren't getting spent because Meta prioritizes ads that aren't necessarily leading to a highest ROAS. Meta will always optimize for the cheapest cost per result, but not for the cheapest customer acquisition cost. So it will optimize for the cheapest cost per call, but maybe this leads that are coming in aren't going to show up to the calls. Maybe they aren't closable. Maybe they have no money. Okay, this is not what you want to optimize for, and this is what Meta can't optimize for. Sure, you could do a purchase campaign, difficult because you're not getting data back quickly. But on the other hand, what you can simply do is you can look at your data that you have, and there will be ads that Meta is just spending 10 to 20% of the budget on that actually lead to conversions that have a high ROAS. So I want to look at my ads, and let's say, for example, Meta is spending most of the money on this ad, which is getting us a 1.65 ROAS. But there's another ad or another ad campaign, another ad set, which is getting us a 4.1 ROAS, but it isn't getting any spend. So what I want to do an ABO, an ad set budget optimization, and force spend towards this ads or towards this ad set, okay? And that's exactly why I'm monitoring our ROAS with this Cloud Code dashboard to see when to force spend towards ads. Now, when you're actually profitable, when you have done your adjustments, you've tested, you have over here, for example, I'm not profitable. What do I want to do? I want to relaunch the campaign. I want to force spend on ads that are promising. I want to put new ads in there, new messaging. I want to fix bottleneck. Then I'm profitable. I'm running at a 2 to 3x ROAS. You would never want to turn off your winning campaign, okay? Because a lot of the times, Meta is just gonna spend on ads in this campaign, in this machine learning system. And it could happen that if you duplicate your campaign and restart it from scratch, it won't win because the machine learning system is going to get confused, even though if it's the exact same ads, okay? So never turn it off. And if you're profitable within the first 7 days, you should let the campaign run as it is, okay? And then you're going to have your main budget that you force on this winning campaign. This will be generally 80% of your budget, okay? And you want to scale this budget by 10 to 15% daily if it's still winning. Keep monitoring your data, okay? I generally go with 10% because I want to stay conservative. And then you're gonna take 20% of your budget and do a test campaign. You can do a test ad set. I like to do it in a test campaign because sometimes in my winning campaign, I will duplicate out winning ads if they aren't getting any spend anymore. That's another tactic I can handle in another video. But for this one, you would just want to handle your test campaign. You want to create a test campaign with one test ad set. You could have various test ad sets. It really depends on how much money you spend. Keep in mind, you want to spend at least $250 per ad set per day. If it's less than that, then it's not worth, per campaign. If it's less than that, it's not worth creating more ad sets and spending like $100 on them. And then you want to test different personas, different angles, different formats, different hooks. You can take some winning hooks, some winning ads, put another hook on them, put another format on them, or you can go with a completely different point, with a completely different persona, and just test, okay? You want to acquire data, and maybe this campaign even crushes the ROAS of your winning campaign, and then you want to shift your spend towards this, or you want to create more ads that mirror this messaging, okay? Or you want to create more ads that mirror this messaging, create a CBO, create another ad set, do a CBO, and put it in your winning campaign, right? So there are a lot of different ways to handle them, right? But the most important thing is when you're profitable, don't turn off your campaigns, let it run, okay? And definitely invest in testing. A lot of people stop here. I stopped there so many times. I just thought, I'm just letting it run. Then Meta shifted the spend because what's going to happen, CPMs are going to change, click-through rates are going to change. Meta is going to shift your spend. Winning ads won't get spent anymore. And if you don't have a campaign structure that lets you force spend through ads, you get penalized. So what I do, if I see a winning ad isn't getting any spend anymore, I will take it, put it in an ABO, just the ad alone, or sometimes even with other winners, and yeah, just force spend to the ads where I know they're getting us a good ROAS. Yeah, with that being said, guys, that's exactly how you scale from 0 to 100K, even 200, even 300K a month with ads, okay? And if you want me and us to come in there and handle your entire creative ad strategy, your entire funnels, install these tracking systems, and literally scale you to 100 to 200K a month with Meta ads, then feel free to reach out to me. Growinginfo.com to book in a free strategy call. We can see how we can help you guys, or Instagram, Simon.Asman. You can send me a message there. I'm posting a lot of stuff there as well that I don't share on YouTube. With that being said, guys, if you like what you've seen, leave a like, subscribe, share it with someone who needs it. That's literally most of the stuff that I know about running ads. Yeah, all that's left is execution. With that being said, guys, take care.